could be your office. Or that. You have to break through the confidence barrier because then you'll break through the C-suite barrier too.
Well done, Ben Kim.
How do you build unstoppable confidence so you can really reach your full career potential? Well, first of all, you need to stop the self-sabotage and get outside of your comfort zone of just being a number.
But that's where I'm comfortable.
No, it's where you've made yourself fit because you're so bound up in being the smallest, most helpful, unobtrusive version of yourself.
Now, just like the Rodin sculpture, I think, therefore I am. Now, you are your own worst enemy, and we need to interrupt this pattern.
At this moment, if you want to finally live the f*** up to your potential instead of spiraling, you must find a way to shift the paradigm.
Now, you need to run to your fear, and somebody else's opinion of you does not have to become your reality.
Just like your mother, it's on your head for. Now, what you need to do to prove her wrong and prove it to yourself is something totally out of character, big and bold, something public that terrifies you in order to free yourself.
Now, your competition will never run to their fears, and so you must run to your fears and condition yourself to enjoy them.
Like, invite the office to see you skydive. Become a Toastmaster, something totally out of character. You have to break through the confidence barrier.
Now, you can't make CEO or start your own company or put your dent in the universe unless you learn to, number one, master public speaking, number two, master selling, and number three, stop giving a what people think of you. Now, if this scares you, then I promise it scares your competition even more. You gotta run to your fears. You also need the right coaches, meaning mentors in your life, that believe in you. And this is something I offer my clients. See the description of the video to book a call with me.
Would I have brought you up here if you were bottoming out?
No,
Well, actually, I might, if I thought you needed a jolt, but this is not that. Have you done it?
not yet.
Don't you say the word can't to me. You will.
Now, later on in this video, I'm going to teach you how to build unstoppable confidence in all aspects of your career, your personal life, and even your dating life. Now, they would be lucky to have you. What you just saw was an excerpt of Billions Season 3, Episode 10. This is my 34th vlog on a separate episode of the Billions TV show. Please stick around until the end of this video you're watching, as I will grade the episode for Wall Street Realism with a buy, hold, or sell rating based on my experience at Goldman Sachs and at the top hedge funds in the world. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Now, let's review the rest of the episode. Here, a corrupt Russian billionaire wants to take his money out of Axe Capital's hedge fund, which could destroy the hedge fund.
Listen, Axe, I'm pulling capital. 1.5 billion. I got a good opportunity.
Oh, good for you.
Russian oil venture.
You know, I normally have a quarterly gate for people with new money.
A gate means you do not let investors redeem for a specific time, and many hedge funds went belly up in the fall of 2008 because they did not have gates. And many large hedge funds survived 2008 as they put up the gates to stop redemptions. Now, Axe is screwed, as other investors might redeem as well as they smell blood in the water.
The Street will see the drop in assets under management and read it as one of two things, redemptions or loss.
Either way, it's the cap raise.
Yeah, so we lever up big and quick.
Leverage on that scale would have to flow from the institutions.
The street will know where.
Well, yeah.
Now, leverage means you borrow money to invest. In this way, if you put levered money to work, you can still own the same number of shares of a stock even if you get redemptions. Now, if you manage over 100 million in assets, then every 3 months, you have to disclose through an SEC 13F filing what you own. Now, if it looks like you are selling too many positions, then other hedge funds will assume you're going under, and they will short your positions. It's self-fulfilling because when there's smoke, there's fire. So how can you see what other investors own? Well, let's do a very quick case study on Warren Buffett's portfolio. Step 1, go to sec.gov. Step 2, type the name of the fund, which is Berkshire Hathaway. Step 3, click View Filings, and Step 4 right here, as you can see. Click the information table in HTML format. And here we see what he owns. Now, how can we see what new stocks he's buying? Well, we compare the current 13F to the previous quarter's 13F, and we can use this prompt in ChatGPT, which I'm going to include for you in the description of this video. The prompt is this. I will paste the current Berkshire 13F in this prompt and the previous 13F in the next prompt. Make a table showing me what stocks have been added and tell me the dollar amount change. Then I paste the current 13F and then the previous 13F, and we see here that his fund added a massive position in Google. Let's now type this. What has stock price of Google and S&P 500 done in the past 6 months? Make it short, percent changes only. And we see here that Google is up over 75% in the past 6 months versus the S&P, which is up more than 10%. Now, why is this a big deal? Because Berkshire is a value investment fund, and historically, growth investors have owned Google. You're either a growth investor or a value investor. And growth investors buy stocks that are expensive but growing fast. But value investors buy stocks that they think are cheap. Well, if more value investors are buying Google, then this could be very bullish for Google, especially since Berkshire is sitting on a record $385 billion in cash right now, and they only own $4 billion or so of Google right now. Separately, Warren Buffett recently retired, and the new CEO is Greg Abel. And I don't often invest in companies when founders retire or when founders are distracted, like when Elon bought Twitter or is running Doge. And many hedge funds short stocks when the founder leaves or when the founder is distracted, like when they buy a sports team, for example. Now, Berkshire is down more than 6% since Buffett announced his departure in May. And other top executives announced their retirements too. And of course, we know that Charlie Munger passed away, God bless him. One more thing about 13Fs, meaning what funds own. If there's a rumor that a hedge fund is getting redemptions or going belly up, then investors often short their longs. Now, after I left Goldman Sachs in 2003, I worked at a hedge fund called Kingdon Capital in New York before joining Citadel. And a hedge fund called Andor was rumored to be going under. So we all shorted Andor's lower quality longs. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Let's get back to season 3, episode 10. Instead of using leverage to make it look like Axe is not getting redemptions, Axe Capital can try to quickly raise more money from institutional investors like the New York City Firefighters Pension Fund and others.
Firefighters Pension Fund, Sanitation Workers Fund, Corrections Officers. Convince them to come on board Axe Cap. Come on, feed me some red meat, man. You'll get a cut.
Now, the problem, as discussed in previous reviews, is how Axe made a fortune from shorting stocks on 9/11. As a result, this happened.
Sorry, man. Firefighters won't touch you.
They sprint into burning buildings, but they're afraid of us.
It's not fear, Wags. They're still pissed about 9/11.
Now, see this link in the description from our review of the episode on how Axe Capital made a fortune on 9/11. So how else can Axe raise money and quickly?
So you're really doing it? Selling off a piece of Axe Capital. Will it be worth it for the cap raise?
Well, we'll see.
So this is a smart idea with the right investor. Now, I did the same thing with my hedge fund. I sold a 25% stake in my fund, which provided a material amount of assets under management and cash flow. Now, always raise money through equity investors and never through debt. Because if you get a loan and you can't pay it back, you can lose your company. Also, make sure your equity investor does not have voting control. Now, this right here is what Mark Zuckerberg did with Facebook. On this 2012 S1 IPO document, it states on the cover here that Zuck controls 57.3% of the voting power of the shares, despite the fact that he owned under 30% of the company. And you got to be careful though, because the wrong investors, meaning board members, can be worse than a bad marriage. As we see right here from a shady investor that is about to buy equity in Axe's fund.
I'm leaving the most valuable part untapped.
And what's that?
Your trades. I can make far more money following you than I even will owning you.
You won't be owning me. You'll be owning a small piece of my company that I can call back.
Now, if you sell an equity position in your company, make sure there is an exit clause. And the reality is that many billionaire hedge fund owners invest in other smaller hedge funds in order to get their investment ideas.
I need total transparency. And you're gonna give it to me because you got nothing else? Gunnished? Bupkis? No?
I can't do it.
Now, Axe made the right call here. He's a libertarian, and there's nothing worse than spending the rest of your life being someone else's bitch. It's not just about the money. It's the freedom to do what you want when you want. And this is why you start a business.
You need me. You're not getting anywhere without me and my money.
Freddie, I got billions of dollars, hundreds of employees, and 2 kids at home who think I can fly. Now what the do you have?
More.
Get the out.
Now, Warren Buffett said it best. He said the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. Start saying no more often in your life. Now, it turns out that Bobby might not need to sell equity in his company because of what the corrupt Russian billionaire told Bobby while having breakfast with his mother.
I decided Not to make the oil deal. I put the money back, along with a promise to give you a warning before I pull it again.
Now, that was the Russian's mother, and not
Bobby Mother. I'm Bobby Mom.
I'm so sorry. I'm 7.5. All right, let's get back to the topic of confidence when pitching an investment idea.
I've been tracking rental car usage in business cities, developing relationships with managers there. Based on lots of activity in Milwaukee, I've deduced a big move is going down.
Well done, Ben Kim.
Now, confidence leads to perceived competence. Remember the Rodin sculpture, I think, therefore I am. So stop, and I say this with love in my heart, stop being your own worst enemy. Now, this next clip is the most important video I have humbly ever made, and I hope this helps you create unstoppable confidence. You are your own worst enemy. If you think that he or she is out of your league, you're so money, you don't even know. So there's this concept I came up with called the networking match equation strategy, or NME. It applies to dating and to networking. And I explain this in more detail. Okay, why my enemy strategy, your own worst enemy, will change your life. But let me give you an example first in dating. Okay, and then we will apply it to networking for a job, or networking for a customer, or networking for any reason, really. Have you ever seen somebody else dating somebody, and the person they're dating is way better looking than they are? Of course you have. And you wonder to yourself, how did this person get that other person to go out with them? You know, how did this guy get that perfect woman to go out with them, or vice versa? She is so gorgeous, smart, outgoing, and personable. But he is not a good-looking guy, and not the smartest guy. How the heck did this guy get in a relationship that doesn't match his looks or intelligence? Now let's bring this equation into balance, okay? The enemy equation. Stick with me here. So he believes in his heart that he's a 10, and she'll believe the same thing. So he's a 1 out of 10, okay? We need 9 things to get him up to a 10 out of 10, okay, to make this equation balanced. And this has a lot to do with networking as well, okay? So he's a 1 out of 10. He thinks he is at first. But he's outgoing. Okay, that's another point. Okay, good. So now he's 2 out of 10. He's personable. That's another one. Now he's 3 out of 10. Okay, he deals well with rejection or failure. We're at 4 now. He's a risk taker. That's a 5. He thinks long-term, knowing that the pain of not spending the rest of his life with her is way higher than the pain of him getting rejected by her. Okay, now we're at a 6. He asks. That's a big one. He asks. You never get what you want in life. You'll never get a raise, promotion, a date, or anything without asking. Okay, we're at 7. He thinks more with his heart and less with his head. He's passionate. We're at 8 now. He is incredibly unique, interesting, and impressive in his own ways. We're at 10. The equation is now in balance. Wait a minute. He has more positive qualities. But why do we care? I mean, the equation is in balance. He's a 10, she's a 10. Well, that's the problem. We need 5 more, so she thinks that he is way out of her league. Oh yeah, we forgot that he is passionate about everything in life, including his job, because he doesn't have a job, he has a passion. He's now a 15. He's passionate about everything in his life, and she's a 10. So in his mind, he is 50% out of her league. That gives him the confidence to ask her out on a date. You are your own worst enemy. If you think that he or she is out of your league, not only you're on par with them, you're up here, you're out of their league. The same thing with networking. You can ask anybody you want, not only out on a date, but also for a networking meeting. Why is analyzing love and dating relevant? Well, networking and dating is identical. So if you've ever asked somebody out on a date, you were kind of networking. Now, in this episode, Ben Kim got a little too confident by pulling this elevator stunt in front of potential investors.
Time to flash the keys out. I'm leaving. Please believe in. I need you to get up on the dance floor. Give that man what he asked you for.
Now, let's talk about grading of this episode for Wall Street Realism with a buy, hold, or sell rating. Now, the episode did a superb job of showing how investor redemptions without gates in place can destroy a hedge fund. The episode also did a great job of showing how confidence in business leads to perceived competence, and how confidence can help you take your career and happiness to the next level. However, the scene with Ben Kim dancing in an elevator was the most unrealistic scene in the entire series, but it was funny, eh? As a result, I'm going to give this episode a sell rating. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next reaction video, which is the movie The Social Network. Thank you.